UI screen. Now, this is, yeah, this looks pretty ridiculous. So I think what we're going to do is break this. Well, let's just take a look at the whole UI first. So up the top of the screen, we've obviously got our team. We've got the enemy team here. I'm not too sure what this is. This might be a placeholder for a character icon. Or it might not, or it might be, I don't know. It might actually be a character, but I think that looks like placeholder material. Anyway, let's take a look at what we've got down here. Obviously, we've got the timer there, which is great. Then we've got weapons broken up into categories. So we've got your sidearm category, and then we've got your primary category. Now, on sidearm, there is classic, which appears to be like the basic pistol, USP, maybe style kind of weapon. I don't know, it's just like a basic pistol. But like, notice this, there is a sawn-off shotgun there, which I think is pretty interesting for a sidearm. Then we've got the Frenzy, which looks like an automatic pistol, which is pretty funky. We've got the Ghost, which I'm not entirely sure. That looks like a Luger, like a German World War II pistol. And this is the Sheriff, which is the most expensive. So let's just get rid of all of this. So you can see it's very simple. It goes down from like cheapest all the way down to most expensive. Now this, I'd imagine, is very much like the D-Eagle, potentially. So yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see what that actually turns out to be like. Now let's take a look, I guess, at the primary weapons. So we've got a bunch of weapons here. Now obviously the first thing is we've got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 primary weapons with 1 2 3 4 5 sidearms for a total of 17 weapons at the moment that are currently in the game. Now remember, this is alpha footage. So SMGs, we've got the Stinger, we've got the Spectre, we've got the Bulldog for a rifle, which looks like a bullpup. And then we've got the Guardian, which, I don't know, maybe that's the AK. I'm not sure. We've got the Phantom. No, that's the Phantom, the AK. Surely the Vandal. Vandal is at the bottom. We've got the Phantom. Again, these are going down going up in value as we go down the list. So you'd imagine these are slightly more powerful in terms of weapon damage. But again, if this is anything like CSGO, the weapons are going to be situational anyway. You know, if you were going to rush the site, maybe we all grab Stingers, for example. Anyway, snipers, we've got the Marshal, we've got the Operator. This must be the AWP. I mean, look at that. It's 4,500 in-game credits, which is the most expensive weapon there is. But interestingly, we get two heavy weapons. We get the Ares, which is, of course, we think the game was actually called Project Ares, and then was shortened to Project A. And we get the Odin, which looks like an absolute beast because it's nearly twice as expensive, which is pretty ridiculous. Then we get shields. Now, this is interesting. So this is like body armor and like helmet armor. So what we've got is light shields, which is 400 that costs. And I presume this is, well, it doesn't even look like we've got headshot armor. So it looks like potentially it's just full body armor all of the time. So light shields, then we get heavy shields, which are 50-50. So obviously heavy is always going to be better. Again, we can see the prices of that, which is cool. Now, on the right-hand side of the screen here, we've got one of the abilities selected. So this big window here is what corresponds to what's going on down here. So you buy the ability. Now, it says full points needed here. So you must need some sort of resource, which isn't the money to actually buy the abilities, which is pretty cool. So what this character has got, I think this character is, I think this is the UK character, and I think he's called Phoenix. Now, I kind of alluded a bit to this in the video I put out yesterday, where I was talking about he looks like he's got a fire, like a fire-based hero, which it looks like he is based off these, well, abilities here. So Blaze, we will see this as the gameplay clip goes through. You guys have just seen it. It was kind of like a fiery wall. Curveball and hot hands. Now, curveball, it says, equip a flare orb that takes a curving path and detonates shortly after throwing. Fire to curve the flare orb to the left, detonating and blinding any player who sees the orb. Alternate fire to curve the flare orb into to the right. So this is a curved flashbang. That's really weird. All right, the final bit of info we've got here is your team. So let's buy, I have credits, let's save. That's actually really nice because that's what happens in CSGO. When the round starts, it's either a buy round where you're just going to buy all the best weapons you can. It's a save round, so we just go out with the cheap pistols. Or I've got more credits, I can maybe give you credits in this game, or I can buy you a weapon to throw on the ground for you to pick. These ones I'm not too sure about at the moment, but yeah, you can see what they're buying and you can see what armor they've got. And that's basically the buy menu, which I think is pretty simple to understand, pretty clear. Now, the one thing that's missing from this at the moment is numbers. If you play CSGO, you might use the numpad to buy all your items. That isn't actually, well, it doesn't look like it's available here. It might be. I don't know. Anyway, let's get stuck into this because this is so cool.
Even if they
can I get a gun?
Okay, so while this is playing through, oh yes, okay, there we go. So they just said, "Can I get a gun?" And look at that. They hover over, buy it, because Phantom is requesting a gun. That is actually really cool. And this person here, we're seeing the viewpoint from, which I believe is the Phoenix character, is going to buy a Frenzy, which is the automatic pistol. And we can see actually the details of the Frenzy weapon there, which is really cool. So fully automatic, fire rate. This is like the CZ, then I guess, from CSGO. Fire rate, 10 rounds per second. Damage, 26 to body, 78 to head. Leg, 22. Oh, it always got different range damage. Okay, cool. So closer, it's going to do...
Thank you.
All right, so we can see the minimap top left. Pretty standard.
Y'all notice? It's real quiet in here. Quiet.
This is what I want to show off here, because this is... So we're going to see an ability get used here. This is the thing I want to show you guys here. So at the bottom of the screen here, an ability gets used, and it takes away this consumable. Now, this is the Q ability for whatever this character is. And I think this is the South Korean character. Anyway, this character then can fly, it looks like. So, or gets a super jump rather not fly. Remember, this is the character that can use the daggers when it pops its ultimate. So this is the other thing I want to talk about here. Look at this, right? And look at what's just happened. And look at the mini-map, right? There are 3 bomb sites. 3 bomb sites. Now, it's not a bomb, it's a spike, apparently. This is to get around... Well, you can't be counter-terrorists and terrorists and plant bombs and terrorists winning because that's not going to float with any kind of sponsorship. Anyway, what we've got here is 3 bomb sites, which is cool. We can see the players have split out. So we've got 1 in the middle. We've got 2 sort of here. Then we've got 2 here at this choke. But the cool thing is they start in the spawn, which is here, and they move to a defensive position. And there are these barriers which we're waiting for the cooldown timer to go, and then the barriers disappear, the game begins. This means the game starts instantly. This is like, you think of Overwatch, right? At the start of the game, towards the bottom of the screen, we've got obviously 4 abilities here on this hero. This is the ultimate ability. We've got the dash movement ability, we've got the jump up movement ability, and then we've got this, which I think is like a smoke style ability for this hero. All right, let's go.
Should we do it?
So the game's about to start. We've got 9...
Let's